Hello and welcome to a very special Thursday night football. I have the whole gang with me here. I have Brad Allen, I have Steven Andrus, and we are going to go through this San Francisco 49ers Tennessee Titans game. As always, guys, go ahead, hit that subscribe button down below. Everything's absolutely free that we do, so we are not charging you for any of this stuff. So please go ahead, give us a little bit of support there. And happy holidays to everybody. Appreciate you spending some of that with us here as we head into week 16 in the NFL. Guys, we have the 49ers as 3-point road favorites in this one. Tennessee Titans coming in with what looks to be, and again, we are recording this early on Thursday, so we do not know for sure. Please watch the news throughout the course of the day. It looks like they will have both of their wide receivers in there. Despite the fact that Julio Jones had to leave the game last week with a hamstring injury, he practiced in full on Wednesday and is expected to go. A.J. Brown opened his 21-day window to be activated to the active roster off of IR. He is also expected to go here. So a different-looking Titans offense, at least a little bit, from the wide receiver position heading in to this one. On the 49ers side of things, their big one, Elijah Mitchell, is out for them in this one, but Deebo Samuel's basically their best running back as it is. Anyway, Brad, I'll start with you in this one. I mean, look, if we try to figure out what the easiest path to victory is for these two teams, I mean, I think the 49ers are a much better team when they're just trying to be this power running team. They just want to go in and kind of play bully ball, and I can't really blame them because it's been working for them right now. And if you kind of look, yeah, it's not a weakness per se, Tennessee's run defense, but look, it's about middle of the pack as far as over the course of the season for this team. And then if you look at the Tennessee side of things, the obvious way that you would want to go about attacking the 49ers would be through the air. With this secondary is so incredibly depleted that they are, it never really was good anyway throughout the course of the season. And now they, are just basically putting warm bodies out there. So it's actually a fairly intriguing matchup with a ton of playoff implications.
Yeah, it should be a good game. I think the one key glaring mismatch for me will be the Titans are going to be missing Taylor Lewan, left tackle, and Roger Saffold, a left guard. And then you stack that up against the this Niners defensive line, Nick Bosa and the gang. They are 7th in pass rush win rate, and so you've got two backups there. They weren't a good pass blocking line anyway. So yes, San Francisco can be had against deep passes, and you've got those two receivers there. But can you protect Tannehill long enough to get there? I suspect not, especially with, they've stopped calling play action since Derrick Henry's gone. So to me, I would definitely look towards the Niners way, because I think there might be a few sacks here for Nick Bosa. You actually look at his line yesterday when that news was announced. He was about minus 125 for a sack. He's all the way up to minus 190 now. So the market's looking at this and going, this offensive line is in trouble.
Steven, when we take a look here, one of the things that I think that we are wondering about with both of these teams, how are they going to play from behind, right? I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo they've basically hidden him over this stretch where the 49ers have played well. They haven't really had to use him a ton because of how much success that they've had in the running game, and then also just a ton of yak from these receivers of his. And then you look at the Titans, they're this 3-game stretch where they've lost these games. I mean, listen, it's kind of an unprecedented. I mean, they're negative 13 in the turnover over this losing streak, which is that's unsustainable, right? I mean, like they're going to get some that way. Yeah, they're going to get some fumble luck. They're going to get some interception luck. They're not going to be negative 13 over the next 3 games over the rest of the season here. So, do you think that with Julio Jones and A.J. Brown back out there that we start to see at least a little bit more of the offense that we saw at the beginning of the year for the Titans?
Well, I'll put it this way. I think they had no chance without A.J. Brown coming back, and I can't rely on Julio whatsoever. Like, what are we setting his snaps over under at, like 20 for this game? Like, we have no idea if he's even going to finish this game after having another setback in game last week. So he could be a decoy out there for all we know. But A.J. Brown has always been a huge part of this offense, and his yak ability as well, just being a really big, strong receiver. It's also what's led to him getting nicked up at times. So I think that's why you saw the pushback here once this reached Titans plus 3.5 in the middle of this week. This is still a 4-point swing from the look ahead. I think And my opinion is that the look ahead was wrong to begin with, right? I think that the market, for whatever reason, has been slow to readjust the Titans to what they are. But now we're at a point where, minus Derrick Henry, they're back with their receivers, at least A.J. Brown, the most important one. And if you look statistically, they really haven't had a big drop-off in efficiency with these backup running backs. I think Dante Foreman's been a pretty good fill-in for them. But I just think that the 49ers are cooking right now. I think I was maybe, as a 49ers fan and being jaded by Jimmy Garoppolo in the middle of this season, I think part of that might have been that George Kittle was out for some of those games. Debo was banged up. Brandon Ayuk, for whatever reason, wasn't quite what he was as a rookie. He was in the doghouse, wasn't getting the snaps. Well, now Jimmy Garoppolo, if you look at what he's done from an efficiency basis here, I mean, minus the Bengals game where he was still 7.2 yards per attempt. I mean, we're looking at 6 of his last 7 games at 8 yards per attempt or better. So they have been limiting his attempts, but he has been solid when he has been asked to throw the ball. And I think that's a credit to Kyle Shanahan in this scheme as well. So you can make an argument that the line has maybe gone too far here, but I think that the 49ers are properly rated here at this point.
Yeah, if someone could tell me that Julio was going to be out there for a full complement of snaps and A.J. Brown was going to be out there for a full complement of snaps, I think I'd probably take the points with the Titans here. But the thing is one, we don't know just how well A.J. Brown is going to look coming off of the IR, right? I mean, like, this was a chest injury, which I assume means at least for the first couple of weeks, he wasn't catching balls. He wasn't doing things like that because you got to really rest that. You don't want your hands and everything flying all over the place. And so I don't know what kind of snap count we're going to get for him. And then Julio, same deal. I mean, you just mentioned it. I mean, we've seen this song and dance with Julio over the last 2 years. He gets in a full practice during the week, and then for whatever reason, he goes and runs 12 routes out in the game, and then he ends up on the sideline again. And so I was looking to try to take the points here, but with so much uncertainty, I just can't get there. So I think I lean towards the 49ers side as well here, guys. On the player prop side of things, they have not posted any of the receiving props for the Titans in this game, and I understand because A.J. Brown has not officially been added to the 53-man roster as of right now, whenever we are recording this. When that does get done, I think just out of principle, and Steven, again, this just goes back to maybe I'm jaded from fantasy football the last couple of years or something, but I would take the under on pretty much whatever they posted for Julio for everything that we've seen from him for the last couple of years.
Absolutely. I think last week his prop was sitting around 50 yards or so when they knew A.J. Brown was going to be out. And I can count maybe I got to double check, but count on one finger the number of games he's had with more than 50 yards this year. Yeah, two games actually. Yeah. So of all the games he's played, he's had 2 games over 50 yards, and now A.J. Brown's back. So if they're going to line him around that same number again, yeah, I think that's a dead under for me as well.
Yeah, I just, look, the guy's so incredibly talented. When he's on, and it's so fun to watch him play, but he just hadn't been right the last couple of years. And, he had to leave the game last week. What's to say he's not going to leave the game?
Even if he plays, right, he's not playing anywhere near to full snaps because even when he came back, his first game back, he played less than 50% of snaps. So it's the combo of him maybe not even being able to finish the game, and even if he does, he might not even play half the snaps.
Guys, if you do want to check out the props over at thelines.com, there's a little button on the homepage there that says prop tracker. You can go in, you can type in any of the players. It will show you the best numbers from all the different books in your state. So just be sure and in the drop down, click your state. Really saves you some time from having to go and look all over the place for the best number. It'll just show you right then and there. And like we said, no numbers up as we tape this right now for the Titans, but they'll come up at some point whenever the A.J. Brown status gets clarified one way or the other. And I just like Julio unders no matter what, whether A.J. Brown goes or not. I've seen enough of this to understand how this all plays out with him. All three of us with a pretty good lean towards the 49ers there. Brad, any thought on the total at all, sitting at 44.5?
I would only look to the under, given the offensive line stuff for the Titans, and the Niners are happy to sit on the ball with a lead. And I've been a big supporter of the Titans defense in the past. They're graded top 10 by PFF on against the pass, so I would lean that way, but I've not bet that.
If you want to follow Stephen at Stephen Andrus1, you want to follow Brad at Brad Allen NFL, you want to follow me at Matt Brown M2. Good luck on all your bets here on Thursday night.